is a long-standing and popular fixture in the Irish shopping landscape. But is Penneys of today only interested in black customers? I firmly believe the most efficient and effective way to get rid of craziness, bad ideas, and general nonsensicalness is to call it out. Absolutely call it out and make sure they know, you know what they're doing, and give them no rest, no quarter. Now, there's been a trend over the past few years, and let me know in the comment section if you have noticed this too, of massive overrepresentation of black people in advertising and on TV, possibly in movies and general media, but especially in advertising. Now, it's got nothing to do with being racist or racialist or having racist ideas or being against people of certain colours and ethnicities, but we are constantly told there must be representation. People must see themselves in various media, advertisement, public places, etc., etc., etc. Okay, fine. I can understand that. I can understand that principle and that general theory. But what happens when one particular group of people, be that on any basis, suddenly gets massively pumped up and overrepresented in public advertising, media, etc.? Surely that's not really what we were sold there. Surely not. And I'm seeing this more and more in general in Ireland. The black population of Ireland at the moment, as far as I can find, is about 1.5%. 1.5%. And the number of interracial couples, marriages, couples, both, between black and white partners is very, very small indeed. It's a fraction of 1% in terms of the population of Ireland. But yet, behold the sight I saw yesterday, popped up on the Twitter sphere. Here is Penneys, the popular retailer in Ireland. You'll find them in most decent-sized towns across the land. Here's Tralee, County Kerry, and here's Penneys window. What do you notice about this? I bless the rains down in Africa. Okay, that's Tralee. That's a shop window in Penneys, Tralee, County Kerry, as of today, yesterday, this week, if you like. For even noticing that, now you see, the libtards, the wokies, the progressives are jumping up and down, berating me for even noticing that there's anything amiss about that. If I saw that shop window in any country in Africa, Botswana, the Congo, Kenya, South Africa, it wouldn't even cost me a thought. And I've been to those places, most of them, and you'll see this all the time. Nothing strange about that. In fact, the Nigerian government recently passed a law stating that there couldn't be any white people in any of their advertisements. Yeah, look, I'm not advocating for that. And I'm not saying by any manner or means that there should not be black people in advertising. That's not the point. The point is that this is absolutely unrepresentative of my country. Completely unrepresentative. And if you think that's a flash in the pan with Penneys, look, one shop window in one shop, in one town, in one suburb, okay. Nobody's losing any sleep about that. If the three pictures in that photo had been, I don't know, three pictures of an Eskimo family, again, I think, right, I don't really know if that's, if I see myself there. But okay, you let it slide. But this isn't a flash in the pan with Penneys. This is not a flash in the pan with Penneys. Something is going on here. And I think, well, in terms of representation for Ireland's society and population and demographics, Penneys is doing something a little bit amiss as far as I'm concerned. And I'm calling it out. That's all. If these photographs were all Chinese people, I would say the same. Have a look at some of Penneys' other handiwork. Check this out. In case you think that was just a flash in the pan, that picture of Tralee was just a flash in the pan, that's a once-off, nothing to see there. Check these out. This is also Penneys' other windows. but there seems to be a certain, shall we say, theme there. Well, let's check in on a few of Penneys' advertising tweets. See how they're getting on over there on the Twitter sphere. Check it out. Those tweets, those adverts, were not aimed at New York or Nairobi. They were aimed squarely at the Irish market. So, again, do you notice anything there? A pattern, possibly? I certainly do. And they rely, I believe, these DEI woke corporations and companies who think they're doing good work, they're doing good deeds to try and change society. They think they're untouchable because even though you and I walking past those shop windows, we may notice something, and it's hard not to. It's hard not to. They rely, at least up to now, on us not saying anything. They rely on us not noticing, pretending not to notice. But those days are coming to an end, because we do notice. And not only do we notice, because it's hard not to. I mean, if every shop window you passed had, I don't know, people from some Amazonian pygmy tribe in the window and in all the adverts, would you notice? Yes, you would. Of course you would. Because, okay, they're a distinct people from a distinct place, and there's very few of them. And there's certainly not many of them in Ireland compared to various other groups, and certainly compared to the native Irish people. Or, as I call us, just Irish people, because there's Irish people and other people. Nothing wrong with that. That's how it is. But they rely on us saying nothing, and I will say something. I will absolutely say something. And more people are standing up and saying, listen, you are force-feeding us a narrative. You are deliberately and with premeditation, you are trying to force things down our throat against our wishes and against our will. This is what you and I know it is. It's social engineering. And it only works as long as we put up with it, and as long as we don't say anything and don't call it out. Well, maybe it's time to start calling it out. Is Penneys and other stores who engage in this nonsense, are they just for black people now? Is that the message there? Representation. Well, they're overly representing in Irish society terms, vastly overrepresenting certain demographics. Does that mean they're now just pandering to them? Like, I have no problem. There are Afro shops around the country who sell, I know, hair and wig products and all that stuff that's particular to African people. That's good. I know what they are, and they have every right to be very successful in their business model. But they're for African people. That's what they are. Perfect. I don't have no problem with that. No problem. There are Africans here. There are Polish people here. There are Lithuanian people here. There are Asian people here. There are Indian people here. But what I won't be is lectured to by multinationals as to we think this is a model for society, and not only do we think it, we're going to force it on you so that you will think it if we force it hard enough. Well, I'm not playing that game. So again, I asked the question, is Penneys just for black people now? Should only black people shop there? Should we not shop there? They don't seem to care about us all that much. They seem to care about certain groups a hell of a lot more. So maybe they should just make their profits off those groups. How about that? I think you'll find Penneys as a brand and as a business would soon change their tune if that was the real world consequences. Maybe it should be.